What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Great Messiah, back for another video. For today's video, we're going to talk about simplicity, right? Simplicity is the best way to go when it comes to trying to get your point across, trying to explain something to someone. It's always good to be more simplistic. For example, I was put into a group chat of, so-called alleged smart people, right? Shan Gay Thunder put me in a group chat with these, so-called, and I say so-called because, like, I don't really know them like that, so I don't know if they're smart or not, but, well, based on some of their replies, they seem to have some, intelligence to a certain degree, but the thing is, like, when these niggas talk, bro, or when they write they messages, it's in like some damn Bible type of wording, like some old English type wording or something. It's like I don't know how to describe it, but it's like when I'm reading that shit, I'm like, matter of fact, let me just read just a small fragment of a message that got received. I ain't gonna read the full thing because it's too long, but this is how this nigga talk. Hold on, let me see. Hold on. Indeed, the world has needed a time of absolute finality into eternal oblivion for an extremely long time now, and so it is being even more proven why it must absolutely vanish from time to time. For all it does is be nothing but a mess of what the but a metaphystopian arbiter of torment. I don't know how to say that goddamn word, bro. Yeah, but just basically, then he said something like later on, leech on off it like draconian parasites. And then he said something like opodictic in exorbitance, cataclysm. Well, I know what cataclysmic is, but I'm just like, bro, I'm trying to like decipher this shit, but I'm like, bro, I don't know what the fuck you even saying, bro. Because of his wording and how he's wording his messages, I'm just like, I don't know what the hell you even talking about, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say simplicity is the best way to go. Typically, when I talk, I use more simple words. I may throw in like a big word here and there, but typically I speak more simplified because it's just more easy to understand. I use words that most of us use in our everyday language. For example, stupid. That's a word that most people will say. No one says that guy is a ignoramus or that guy is incompetent or some shit. Now, no, people really don't say that word like that. So people will say, oh, what's that? So typically I use more simple verbiage, and it's easier to say as well. I rather, because some people, there are some people out there that sound smart because they use all these big words, but they ain't saying shit. I've seen people like that use all these big ass words, but when you decode it, they ain't saying shit. So that's because you're using big words. That don't mean that you're smart. You just know a different way of saying a more simpler word. So that's why I like to speak more simple. It's best to be more simplified so people can understand it better. That's the best way to teach people simple. Now all this complex shit, inexorbitance, I don't know what the fuck that shit is, man. But But yeah, man. If y'all watch Naruto, when Naruto met the Sage of Six Paths, and the Sage of Six Path is like an ancient person. So when he first met Naruto, he was speaking in like that old school dialect. But Naruto was like, huh? And then he's like, I have to speak according to your generation. And then he started to speak in a way to where Naruto can understand it. Because like even when I watch anime and some of the people, when they explain these complex ass powers and shit, I just like I kind of interpret like I try to find a way to simplify the explanation of that complex ass power or some shit. But yeah, because it's just when it's more simple, you can retain to that information more better, as opposed to some super complex scientific mathematical shit. So simple is the way to go. But when it comes to explaining to someone, but obviously when it comes to things, that's more simple. If you can just make something just be a little bit more simplified. Now some things can't just be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but if you can just try to simplify something as much as you can, just try your best to do that. So I gotta say I'm out.
Firstly, thou hast not died as of yet. This place is thine own inner mind. I understand thy...
This geezer... Look, a lot simpler, please! Can't you just speak using easy, normal words?